It's so weird because I go through this who knows how many times now. And each time it gets better, but there's a thing that happens where you really feel you finally got enough momentum that you can completely break free. And most of these other things won't really rear their heads anymore. And for the most part, that's what's been happening. It's like I can feel the cycles that used to come up and be a thing for me to either believe I was thinking or a certain way, or that I was my thoughts, or blah blah blah. Now when they come back, they are just under the surface, and I can tell the same feelings there. Like, oh, that's one of those, but it's not coming all the way through, so it's not getting me to the same point. But sometimes either you're drained because it could be because of anything. Once you're drained and you feel a little bit, you know, you just don't feel quite as happy, but you're still. It's weird because I get to a point now where I'm always good, but there are some times when I'm not as good as other times, but I'm still in the good range. But it's all relative. So since I'm flying so high, even when I drop down to just regular good, which years and years ago would have been my top state, but now it's just good, I can see how my thoughts change to like, am I doing enough? And is it things like that start to seep in? And I don't catch them fast enough and say, hey, that's not you thinking. You're just in a state, a vibrational state toward these kind of thoughts. They're going to rear up. But it's not because now you're thinking that you're not doing it right or blah, blah, blah. You can't get trapped in your thoughts. No, it's just you're a little drained. And it's happened to me hundreds and hundreds of times. And I say to myself, you'll take a rest, you'll eat some food, or you'll smoke some weed or something. You just take a nap, even just lay down and scroll on your phone. You're going to feel better in about 3 hours. It always happens. And then you're going to be on top of the world and your thoughts will be different and you'll be right on track. But it's so trapping. Even though I'm saying that, it still feels like shit. Like you're actually not doing it right and you're having these thoughts like, man, what can I do different? What can I do? But my deeper thought is like, no, you know you're doing it right. You're just vibrating a little lower now. Listen to this thought. If you have to listen to the thoughts, let the other thoughts roll through. But every time, man, it comes back around, and it's cool now because now I can see it coming before it comes. I'm like, oh, I feel like in about 30 minutes or so, I'm going to be down. So I got to keep my knowledge ready so I don't let it take me, so I don't become that down person. I'm the observer, noticing my vibration low, and so the things that follow that are what's supposed to follow that. But it happens it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. Make sure I put that in there. But it's just funny, it's interesting to me how it still can get me. Like, I just got out of it just now. I was laying there, I'm like, damn. But then I remember, no. This happens every time. You're going to take a nap, smoke some weed, or even just take a nap. So I've been trying not to smoke weed right away to fix everything. I say to myself, no. You meditate fucking raw for 15 minutes and prove to yourself that you can move it without the weed. And I always do. I always do. So I'm like, and then I'm like, yeah, let's go get some weed. But I gotta force myself to do that because I hate feeling that I have to smoke the weed and then all of a sudden I'm where I want to be, and it's almost instant too, which pisses me off. But not always. I prove to myself I can do it sober. It's just interesting how it always comes up and it almost always tricks me. So it makes me feel even more compassion to the people that are just hasn't even thought about this stuff yet, and they're just living their thoughts. Ooh, just raw experience with no, just letting the cork bob on the ocean, just whatever thoughts come in, and then whichever ones you start focusing on more becomes your personality, and ooh, how you guys do it. Anyway, you have more compassion with those people because I know this shit now, and it still gets me when I feel just a little lower in goodness. Like from feeling maybe really appreciative and loving my space, and I'm glad things are working out so far the way they are. And then a little lower, it's taking too long. Am I sure I'm doing it right? As long as you don't become those thoughts. And remember that your thoughts are just rolling through for what cycles and momentums you've already had going throughout the years. And yeah, it's such a thing. It's really interesting to think about once you learn this stuff and then you look back at the people or even look back at your own past and how you, when you were that way, you were just your thoughts and this was who you are, blah, blah, blah. It felt like no one could tell you otherwise. That never changes. You know what I mean? That never changes. Like now I know different. So it has softened because you do open yourself up to critique and changing your point of view once you learn this stuff, because you come from that rigidness to now a completely different point of view. But still, no one can tell me. I still feel the same way that I'm right and no one can tell me otherwise. But I look back at the past, I'm like, ugh, I couldn't believe it. And it felt so right. It felt like I was really, living life. I think it's an easy way to, another way to look at it would be like, it's just two different modes of play. Playing a game, you got hard mode, real life. You are your thoughts, and they form as you grow, and that you're not receiving them, you're thinking them, and you're out there in the fucking raw, heavy, dense, clanking, fucking wet, slimy, gritty, dry, real fucking life, broken hearts and regret and all that stuff. And that's a game mode. And you have to really be a veteran to want to jump in there. But you can go in different game modes where it's different. Or you can switch up mid-game. Like, oh shit, I didn't know I was in this mode. Let me get into the mode where I'm receiving my thoughts and where it's, even though there's one mode that holds both those games, and it's the energy vibration mode, and it holds both those games because it's just an illusion. Yeah, I love talking about this shit. I forget what originally sparked it. I end up going off on. I just get excited about it. It's so fucking weird, and I'm finding a bunch of people on the internet, like that Base Forge guy. Man, he's passionate about figuring out this fucking geometry. I think his thing is geometrics. And all the vibration and sound and geometry. The universe is just, you say, it's just vibration. Well, what's vibrating? Vibration. That's vibration vibrating. Vibration, vibrating, vibration, vibrating. It just goes on forever. That's the fundamental, one of the fundamental misconceptions. There's got to be something to be, it's got to be some hard stuff to be vibrating. No, it's always just been energy. Huh. I'm just thinking about how when you move, right? You guys seeing the image of my head moving right now, if that's the background behind it, but I'm seeing my point of view. And how it's really nothing. It's going back to that TV screen. It's just a TV screen with no outside. It's just like pixels. What really throws you for a loop, though, is that feeling of hardness. But if no one's ever created a reality before, who's to say what hardness feels like? No one knows. This might not even be what hardness is supposed to feel like. We wouldn't know. We could have made it feel like softness. And we could have reversed it. And it'd just be what it is. Isn't that weird? Or it's the same kind of thing where you never know, two people can never know they're seeing the same color. Because, we'll say we're both, it's fucking blue. Yeah, I'm saying it's fucking blue. I'm saying it's fucking blue too. But we don't know what our eyes are seeing and what we're calling blue. You you could be seeing yellow, but since yellow's been blue, named blue to your whole life, you're gonna call it blue, and I could be seeing blue and calling it blue or whatever color. And we're both gonna sit there saying it's blue, and there's no way, as far as I can tell, that we could ever prove that we're both seeing blue. Which leaves so much space for the universe to work around, even in just that concept. A myriad of other concepts probably work the same way. There's so much room that we don't see that I should say we, but the universe, the weeniverse, the weeniverse. That's me right there, the weeniverse, the usiverse. Anyway, there's lots of space for us to move behind the scenes and fuck with shit. That's what the color thing means to me. That's the idea I get behind that. And whatever other thing that reminded me of the color thing I was talking about before that, it's the same type of thing. I still like my idea that I see it now, the grainy effect I can see sometimes, like a billion trillion little pixels that reality is made of. Last time I say this was every other human's perspective zoomed out to make my reality, and you guys are doing the same thing. But maybe it's every aware being's perspective in the whole everything. Would it be just humans, or just the planet and us, or would it be the universe? If every little pixel was someone else's perspective, like if I could zoom in all the way up on one of these little pixels, get down to all the quarks and everything, and then it would just be you. I would see your perspective watching my video, and so I would zoom all the way out, and that pixel, from my point of view, it's just a pixel, but from your point of view, it's your whole experience, and you make up my reality while I make up your reality. It's a kind of like paradoxical, transversical thing going on. And then times that by how many beings there are. Apparently there's only one particle, and it just moves so fast it can stand beside itself and do whatever it wants. So there's also that to throw in there. So then the TV screen, so then each pixel would be the same pixel. Each perspective would be the same perspective, just standing next to itself. It gets really weird, but it's fun to think about. It is fun to think about. What really sells physical reality is the feeling of the weight and the pain and the balance, and you feel the weight and you feel everything. It didn't have that, and the sound. Definitely, we could really sell this pixeled borderless screen idea better. There's something about the illusion of this, which we know now. I'm not really touching this table. We all know that now. There's always space between. Which is something too. Apparently there are realities where my hand would go through the table. It's like a dream. Some dreams, or dreams could be anything. Apparently dreams are, you are in a different reality, a different dimension, whatever you want to call them, little fucking words. Different experience, different perspective of yourself. So weird to think about us never beginning. And so, of course, if we never began, we would never end. Now, is it so that we truly never began? Or have we been going on so long that we can't remember if we began or not? And would it matter? Would either one matter? And if beliefs really change reality, if we could get every being in the universe to believe that we did begin, well, then we would have begun, and we would be able to find evidence. But that would never happen. Because we would need all the different realities. We'd need realities so different from ours that they could balance ours out. It'd be like the opposites. They would have to be different. And then it's just some kind of fucking, what's the word? Amalgamation? Oh, that's not right. Some kind of fucking clusterfuck. Clusterfuck's better. I forgot what I was saying. This is went on way too long. 15 minutes. Anyway, enjoy my weed talks.